Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Wealth After Work, the show dedicated to helping you successfully to and through your retirement. I'm your host, Kristen Oakley, and joining me in the studio today is Ralph Grosso. He is the president and founder of ASC Financial Group. Ralph, my friend, I'm excited to be here in the studio with you. How are you today?
I am awesome, Kristen, and it's great to be with you today, too.
Well, thank you. I know you've put together a fabulous show for our viewers at home. We're going to be talking about something you're really passionate about, retirement income.
Yes. And you know, Kristen, a while back there was a commercial. I don't know if you remember this. It was, I believe, Prudential. And it said in this commercial, what is your number?
Yes, what's your number? It had the floating numbers over the head, right?
$1 million, 400,000, 650, right? And they missed the entire point. Because at the end of the day, it is not about how much you've accumulated. It's not about a number. It's about how do you convert that number into income.
Yes.
And that's really what I'm excited and talk about today, is how do we do that?
Absolutely. Well, to your point, Ralph, it's been said that success in retirement isn't about how much you have or how much you've accumulated, although that can play a factor, but rather your ability to take that lump sum and turn it into a reliable, ongoing, steady stream of income that you're confident is going to be able to last you throughout the rest of your life. This is why focusing on income planning for your retirement is so crucial. And here's what's interesting, Ralph, is that this is something that really sets you and the team of ASC Financial apart, is that you are a retirement income planner. This is what you do for folks day in and day out. Talk a little bit about what it is that you do and why that separates you.
Yeah, so what we found is many folks are really not prepared for retirement, right? They've done a good job accumulating money. Many advisors are out there. They can do a good job of accumulating money, but we have to understand that our money goes through three processes: accumulation, preservation, and then distribution. And so the latter two is what we focus on at ASC. You know, you're now ready to enter retirement. You've already accumulated this money, whether mostly in a 401k. We're seeing a lot of 401k plans when folks come in to meet with us.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they've accumulated this money. What we now need to focus on is how do we protect this money, and more importantly, how do we distribute this over your lifetime? You know, the challenge for our parents was making it to retirement.
Yes.
But the challenge today is making it through retirement.
That is so wisely said, because we are living longer than we ever have before, and there's this huge time window to plan for that previous generations a lot of times didn't have to plan for.
Exactly. You know, average life expectancy today, a married couple, one of them's going to be celebrating their 93rd birthday. So, you know, we've really got to plan for a 20, 30-year retirement. And that is making sure the number one fear most folks have as they enter that retirement years: am I going to run out of money? Do I have enough to last me my lifetime?
Right.
And so that's what we want to do.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to focus on. How to make sure you get predictable income month in and month out.
Yes, because really at the heart of that question, people are wanting to know, am I going to be okay, right? We know that there's a lot of fear about folks running out of money, and rightly so, with a lot of the challenges that we're facing and the fact that we're living longer than we ever had before. So that question of, do I have enough, is really, am I going to be okay, right?
Exactly. That's the questions we get mainly when folks come in to see us. Am I going to be okay? Will I have enough money? What about Social Security? Should I turn it on now? I heard, you know, if I don't take it at 62, I might not get it later. You know, there's so much confusion, so much misinformation out there. How does my pension work? What if something happens to me? My spouse, is she going to be taken care of? You know, these are the type of questions folks come in at, and this is our specialty. This is where we're going to focus on how to solve these concerns. You know, Kristen, as retirement planners, I've got an eye that's trained to identify exposure. These are the things that can threaten your retirement. And as we go through the process of putting together a written retirement plan, a written income plan, invariably, as we go through the process, some red flags pop up, some concerns. And if they do and we can help you, we're going to let you know. And if we can't help you, we're going to let you know that too.
Yes.
But it all starts with planning.
Absolutely. Well, I know this is what you love doing day in and day out for folks, and I'm excited for more viewers to be able to connect with you as a result of today's show. So what we thought we would do is peel back the curtain and have an inside look into what it's like to sit down and meet with the team of ASC Financial to come in and meet with Ralph to get your very own retirement income plan built. So I'd love to start off, Ralph. What happens from the minute a viewer picks up the phone and calls into the show? What's going to happen from there?
So we're going to schedule you for your complimentary consultation. There's no obligation. We service the entire northeast of Pennsylvania. We have locations in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area, in the Pocono region. Our office is in Bartonsville, Stroudsburg, and then also for our viewers in Lehigh Valley, we have an office in Bethlehem. And so we will schedule you based on your geographic situation to one of those offices where we'll begin the process of asking questions and getting a little bit more information and begin to work on putting that plan together.
I love it. You've got all of Northeast PA covered, don't you?
And Western New Jersey.
Yes.
We also work, we have many clients in Warren County, New Jersey, and we're just a short trip through the Delaware Water Gap.
Yes, such a beautiful place. Yes.
Yep. We're right off of Route 80, so it's very convenient for both our New Jersey clients and those that live in the Poconos.
Wonderful. Well, I know we're going to get into even more depth about what's going to happen during that first meeting, but if you had to characterize what someone could expect when they come in for their no obligation, no cost meeting with you all, what's that time going to look like for them?
Yeah, so, most folks, they come in, the retirement can be overwhelming. There's some fears out there, meeting with someone, I don't really know them. What are the questions they're going to ask? Am I prepared for this meeting? And really, we want to make it as stress-free as possible, right? And so you don't have to have all your statements. You don't have to have all the information, know all the answers. But we want to begin establishing what are your goals? When do you want to retire? How are we going to meet those retirement needs? And later we'll talk about not just needs, but wants. I want my clients to dream. What's that ideal retirement going to look like?
Oh, and I bet a lot of viewers are hearing that going, yes, I have dreams, I want to make them a reality, and that's got to be a really fun part of your job when you get to sit down with someone and help show them how to make those dreams come true.
We had folks came in from Warren County, they came in to see us, and their daughter recently moved from New Jersey to Los Angeles and had a 2-year-old, so it's their first and only grandchild, and they were heartbroken. They're on the West Coast, and they didn't feel they had enough resources to make trips to California. And that really was their want. This is what they wanted to do.
Right.
And so we put together a plan that not only met the needs that they had to do for their fixed expenses, but also we took a look at, hey, how much would it cost to fly out? How much would it cost to stay, in Los Angeles? How much would it be for how long? And we were able to put a plan together, and this was about a year ago, and I met with them recently for a review because we always want to review with our clients. And they had pictures. We just got back from California. Look at this 2-year-old. Look at it. So it just gave a lot of satisfaction that we were able to meet some of the dreams that they were hoping they could do, and it now became reality.
I love that, Ralph. And I know, no doubt, as you mentioned, retirement planning can be really overwhelming for folks. It's something that people only go through one time, yet you've helped thousands of folks be able to retire successfully. You do this for a living, building these retirement income plans. So if somebody's watching today and they're going, yeah, I think I could really use some help in that department, what would you want to say to them?
Yeah, so I want to say, look, it all starts with the beginning. And that beginning is picking up the phone and giving us a call. And once you do that, we will begin the journey of putting together a plan specifically and uniquely for your situation. No two plans are alike, no two families are alike. So we want to be customized. And so we put a customized retirement income analysis together for you. It's going to identify, am I maximizing my income? And that's really what we want to focus on. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're reducing risk. Because now that we're in retirement, we're not going to be able to take the risk we could when we were 30, 40, even 50. Because at this point, we don't have the time to take care of any type of market turndowns. So we also want to focus in on market risk and then taxes. Well, taxes, we believe, are going to go higher. So how is that going to impact my retirement? And so give us a call, and we can start that journey today.
Wonderful. Ralph, thank you so much. I'm excited to continue this conversation with you. To our viewers at home, if you would like help putting your very own retirement income analysis plan together, it starts by getting your complimentary written financial plan from Ralph and the team of ASC Financial. To claim yours, all you need to do is call that number on the bottom of your screen, 844-918-4867. Or if you'd rather connect online, if you simply pull out your smartphone, you can open up that camera app, just point, click, and scan that QR code that you see there down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That will take you over to a landing page, ask you a few short, simple questions, and then a member of the team from ASC Financial Group will reach out to connect with you to schedule your complimentary meeting that way as well. We'll be back with more right after this.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Ben. Hey, birthday party for Carolyn 5. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning, Ben. Happy Monday.
Daryl's birthday, be there every square. Happy birthday to you. You can see from our quarterly report on slide number 62, we're trending in the right direction. All signs point to a very positive outlook for the next several years. If you peel back the onion...
Ben, do you have anything to add?
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Wealth After Work. I'm your host, Kristen Oakley, here with Ralph Grosso. He is the president and founder of ASC Financial Group, serving all of Northeast PA as well as Western New Jersey. We're having a great conversation today all about income planning, and we're really peeling back the curtain on what it's like to come in and have your very own personalized retirement income plan built for you. Well, you know, Ralph, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is I know that during that first appointment, you ask a lot of questions. Talk about why that is, and we'll even get into some of the questions that you ask folks.
Yeah, so what we want to do, Kristen, is develop a customized plan, right? No two plans are the same. This isn't a cookie cutter situation. I don't take something off the shelf. You know, we want to customize it. So we're going to ask questions. You know, when do you want to retire? How much income do you feel you're going to need? What are your expenses? And then again, we want to, as we talked in the first segment, we want to dream.
Right.
Okay, so that's basically what we're focusing on in that first meeting.
Yeah, and I love that because I think as I've traveled the country and worked as a financial educator, I think sometimes folks can feel a little intimidated by walking into these kinds of settings, especially when they're getting to know someone like yourself and they're going, well, I'm not even sure what kinds of questions I might be asked. What if I don't know the answer? But to your point, really it's a conversation about getting to know them so that you can build a plan that meets their needs.
Kristen, this is all relational, okay? We're big on relation. And then even after they, folks become clients, we want to continue. This is an ongoing process. It's not, hey, here's your plan, have a great life, and move on to the next, right?
Right.
We might need to make adjustments along the way. So we want to meet with folks on a regular basis. We also do some really neat things during the course of the year. We have client appreciation dinner, kind of like a wedding.
Oh, how fun.
Entertainment and open bar. My clients, some of them love that part.
Right.
And just, thank them for their business, thank them for their loyalty, but more importantly, thank them for their friendship.
I love that.
And so many, back in 2019, I lost my wife, and the sympathy cards I got from my clients overwhelmed me. And really, I am so blessed. I have the best clientele in the Northeast section of Pennsylvania.
It truly is a family, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Wow. Well, and I know that that's something you really value doing is doing life with your clients. To your point, this is about having that ongoing relationship. And so what a beautiful thing to be able to cultivate. That says a lot about you and the culture of ASC Financial Group.
Yeah, and I really pride myself on that. Plus the fact that we're basically a family company, right?
Yes, so talk about that. Yeah.
My son works with me. My stepson works with me. My daughter-in-law is the manager of our office. And really I started ASC really as a legacy for my family. And so it's really our family helping your family. And that's what we're looking to do. And bring some peace of mind. So many folks today, you're worried, and you rightfully should be worried. There's a lot going on, especially as you're nearing retirement, a lot of uncertainty. And we want to just take the stress out of that. We want to make sure that you have the retirement that is built to last, that it's a retirement where you can enjoy life, where you can enjoy your grandchildren. Kristen, I have 21 grandchildren.
Do you really? I didn't realize that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got married when I was 14. But it's all about family. And that's the type of atmosphere that we wanted to portray at ASC Financial
Yes,
Group.
and you're real everyday people helping real everyday people.
There it is,
Yes,
Kristen.
for sure. Well, going back to this first meeting, I know another thing that can sometimes hold people back from taking action is, not knowing what I need to bring to the meeting, maybe being a little bit, cautious. Okay, do I share my information? So walk me through that process. If someone's going, okay, well, I'm not sure what I would need to bring to this first meeting. What does that actually look like for them?
Sure. So we have some folks come in and they are so prepared. They have all of their statements. They have copies for us. They have their tax
Spreadsheets,
routine.
right?
They have everything done. And then we have folks that come in and they bring nothing in. And either way, it's fine. What we really want to do is begin the conversation. Okay, so having statements doesn't prevent us from having the conversation.
Right.
Now, that being said, we do want to run some reports. And in doing that, we're going to need statements at some point.
Right.
But really, we're looking to just begin the conversation with folks. So if you feel like you're not prepared, if you feel like I don't have all the statements, it's okay. Give us a call. Come in, see us. Let's start the conversation. I will tell you, we have the best coffee in the world. We'll sit down. We'll just, in a very relaxed atmosphere, just sit back and have this conversation of how you can begin to build a written income plan.
Wonderful. Ralph, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the process starts with you picking up the phone and reaching out to schedule your appointment. This is for no cost, no charge, no obligation. It's simply an invitation to have a conversation to see how the family of ASC Financial Group can help and serve you. So again, to claim your complimentary written financial plan, simply call 844-918-4867, or again, you're also welcome to scan that QR code and that will get you connected as well. When we come back, I'm going to be asking Ralph about some of the reports that will be run for you during that first meeting and what kind of valuable information you can glean from them about your retirement income situation right after this.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to Wealth After Work. I'm your host, Kristen Oakley, here with Ralph Grosso, and today we've been pulling back the curtain on what it's like to work with the team of ASC Financial Group to build your very own personalized, customized retirement income plan. I mentioned before the break, Ralph, that I was going to ask you about these reports.
Yes.
I know that folks walk away from this first meeting with a lot of valuable information, and one of the things that you do run for them is called a Morningstar report. Would you be able to shed some light on all that goes into that for folks who may not be familiar with that and what they're actually going to learn as a result of receiving that report?
Of course. So we like Morningstar for a variety of reasons. Number one, Morningstar is independent. I say they have no dog in the fight, right? So it's going to be an unbiased, in-depth breakout of their retirement, of their current situation as it relates to retirement. And it's going to focus on, what's the income your current portfolio is generating, right? Most people are shocked to find out how little their portfolio is giving in interest and dividends. And that's because most folks are on the growth side of things.
Yes, they're in that accumulation phase, right?
Yeah. And they're, the number one mistake we find most folks ready to retire or even in retirement, they don't understand that investing during retirement is different than investing for retirement.
Yes, there's an important shift, transition, if you will, that needs to be made with your investments, right?
Certainly. And so that the report is going to look at income, but then even more than that, look at most folks don't understand how much risk they're taking. I had a couple that were in not long ago in their early 70s, and they were like, Ralph, we're extremely conservative. I mean, we're in our early 70s. When we did the report, it showed that they would have, when the next market crash happens, because I don't believe it's if, I think it's when. But the report will show the period of 2008-9 when we had that big market crash.
Right.
How much can they lose? And in this case, it opened their eyes. They would have lost over $500,000.
Wow.
And
if they kept doing what
if they kept doing what they were doing.
Right.
So the report, Morningstar, again, independently is going to look and stress it out to say, hey, worst case scenario, how much could you lose in that situation? And then it's going to disclose fees, right?
Yep.
And look, everyone charges fees. We charge fees. But you need to know what that fee is.
Yes, and not
Why?
all fees are created equal, right?
Well, absolutely. There are hidden fees. We had a couple that came in. They had this variable annuity. They're sold like hotcakes by the major insurance companies. And they came in, and when we did the report, it identified that they were paying, Kristen, $14,000 a year
Wow.
in fees, and they didn't have a whole lot of money in
And they
this.
didn't even know it, right?
They had no clue.
Yeah.
They had no idea. And really what happened is the advisor, because they were like, how can this be? Well, the advisor handed them a prospectus. Have you ever read that document? No one does.
No, it's a snooze
buried
fest.
in the middle. So we
yeah.
need to know fees. In addition to that, we have to understand that fees not only reduce your gain, but they also compound your losses.
Right.
You know, and I have a real passion to do this. And it has to stem with my parents. You know, my mom and dad raised 6 of us. And they didn't have, you know, they educated us. When my dad retired, he didn't have a lot of assets, a lot of money built up, but he had a house, and that house was in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. He paid $100,000 for it. He sold it for $700,000. This was back in the 90s, and he took my mom and the money, and they moved to Florida. And while they were down there, he was very conservative CDs. He was getting, 6-7% interest, living off the interest, right? Okay. Well, I go visit them. This was in 1999, and we were watching TV. I think it was 60 Minutes, and all of a sudden we realized we needed to get a new TV. And so they were saying, well, we have to call Vito. I said, who's Vito? Well, it was a guy at the bank that put him in very risky investments. And so we put them in a plan that gave them consistent, predictable income. And you know what? They were the happiest people I knew. I always thought it was because I was their son. But they got a paycheck. And they could spend that because next month they were getting another check. And they could spend that too. And really, folks, that's what we're looking to do. How can we give you predictable, safe, certain income into retirement? So give us a call, let us start the process, and I promise you, you'll be glad that you did.
Wonderful. Ralph, thank you so much for sharing your heart and your passion, and I'm excited for more folks to connect with you as a result of today's show. We appreciate you being here. Again, to claim your complimentary written financial plan, simply call 844-918-4867. Be safe, be happy, be blessed, and we look forward to being back with you next time here on Wealth After Work.